Hello and welcome to Edison Library video series. In this video, I'm going to show you how to access Edison State Library online and how to access the resources there. So first thing you'll want to do is start out on the Edison State Community College main page. On the Community College main page, you go under the current students and select the library link. And now you're on the Edison State Library's main page. If you scroll down a little bit, what we have is three boxes that provide the links to our different resources. Along the left-hand side is our email address, hours of operation, and our contact information. So feel free to contact us utilizing any of these or visit us during their operating hours. What I'm going to do is go over each of the boxes, and I'm going to start off on the other side under our research guides. Research guides are guides that were created based on a specific class or assignment. So I'm going to go into the research guides, and if you go through, there may be one created for a class other than the one I'm going to address, and I'm going to select the English 121 link for the research guide. Okay, and so what we have is an overview of the guide and our contact information. That's on our welcome page. If you select the accessing the databases and journal articles, I have an overview of databases, what a database is, how to search specifically in our eSearch, which I will also go over, and then the specific databases themselves. Academic Search is a database. Here's links to that database, and then if you scroll down, we have a PDF of how to access a database and a video of how to access a database. And these are all things I'm going over. So if you forget any of them and you want to access a specific database, you can go into the English 121 Research Guide, select the link for the database, and then if you want, you can do the PDF or the video to see how to access it fully. Or if you want to do eSearch, which is our all-in-one search tool, here's a few tips on that, searching in there, and then the PDF and a video. I am now going to select the Locating Books link in the English 121 Research Guide. And again, eSearch comes up because that is now our all-in-one search tool. It can be switched so it searches physical items, or it will search online items. So this tells how to do physical items. Actually, I'm sorry, I take that back because it does have ebooks in here. So it shows you how to find books and ebooks, in either being physical items or online items. Now I'm going to select the Citing, Bibliography, and Sources link. This goes over the MLA format because that is the format needed for the English 121. If it was a different class, it needs a different format, it would go over that specific format and would have a link to the book we have associated with it and the link for ethical use of your information you're citing. And then again, it goes over how to cite, and it gives you a link to the online writing lab. Okay. If you decided you wanted to look at some of the other guides that are available, you can select this link here, and that goes to the guides again to all of them. And we do have one for the English 122 research project. All right. I am going to go back to the library's main page by selecting the tab here. And what we have are our Edison State databases. I highlighted a few in the research guide. In case you're not aware, databases are online libraries, and they're usually dedicated to a specific subject or discipline. I'm going to go ahead and select the Explore Databases link. And we are now on the database's main page. So if you scroll down a little bit, we have the same contact information and hours of operation along the left-hand side, but in this blue box here is the information needed to access the online resources for the databases. So the majority of them just need your Edison email address and your Edison password, but some of them, being 3, need your Edison barcode number, and that is the number 1973 plus your student ID number. And there is an example of that, of what it would look like. So it's 1973 plus your student ID number. Okay, and these are different databases, and like I stated, these are online libraries based on a specific discipline or subject matter. Academic search is going to be academic type articles. Business source is going to be business type articles. Some of them are obvious from the title. This one, the CINAHL, is not obvious. This is a medical database. Nexus Uni is newspapers, government documents, legal documents. PsycInfo is Psych. Oxford Reference has reference books. Here's Sears Researcher. Sears Researcher and Opposing Viewpoints will show you two sides to a story, meaning if you have to write an argumentative essay, you can start with your side, and then if you're not sure what the other side would be, you could go into these Opposing Viewpoints or the Sears Researcher, and it will give you two sides to an issue. Okay, we have over 200 databases, so I'm not going to go through all of them. If you would like to get a complete list of our databases, there's a link down here for that. What I'm going to do is, just select the academic search. It's going to ask for the school I'm affiliated with, which is Edison State, and I'm going to hit submit. If you had not logged onto your computer, it's going to ask for your email address and your password. I believe I have already logged in, which I have. So this is the Academic Search Complete database. This is their search screen. So what you want to do in here is just do, I usually do just a basic search, whatever my terms are. I'm going to use video games in this one. All right, and we have over 389,000. What I do is I start with my general terms. So video games is my general term, and then I go here and I limit what I'm looking for. So I want full text only. I don't want to have to mess with contacting the library and try to get them to obtain the article I'm looking for. So I'm just going to go with full text, and because this is a academic paper, we'll want peer-reviewed articles, and now we're down to 53,000, and that is still a lot of information to go through. So sometimes what you can do is look through the subject headings associated down here and see if there's something you can put in there that would narrow this a little bit. So I'm going to use video games, and I just saw this says economics education, but I am just going to use education. So excuse me, at this time I'm going to show you a couple quick tricks in regard to searching. So you put this in quotes, video games, because what that is going to tell this search engine is that I want video games to be searched as one word. Currently, it searches it 2 words, and yes, the majority of them are going to be next to each other, but as you go down through these results, you'll see that video games are not necessarily next to each other. And by putting it in quotes, I'm saying I want these to be terms that are always next to each other. So I'm going to do that, and you can do that with any 2-term word: greenhouse gases, social media, whatever. Now I'm going to add the word "and" in there, and as you see, as I type that in, it is all capital. If I had left it lowercase, it would search for the word "and." By putting it in capital, it's saying don't search that, but make sure these terms that I'm putting in are in the article. So it's saying video games and education I want in my results. So let's just do a quick search, see what it comes up with. There we go. Now it did leave my filters on, so I can see that because it says all filters. There's 2, but there's also selected here. So now I have video games and education. It will have both of those words in, not necessarily the subject heading, but somewhere in there. Okay, so now I want to just look, and it did narrow it down to 1,256. That's a fairly big number to go through, but you can just kind of go through them and see if they apply and choose the ones that apply to the tone of your assignment you're doing. Okay, so now I'm going to just show you how to access real quick. So you could select this access options, but I always select the video game or the title of the article, and I do that because that provides me my options here. Sometimes they're not in these options, sometimes they are, but it's easier for me. I go right to my site. there we go. Selecting cite. If I need it in the APA format, then I would just leave it there. Need it for the MLA format, we select the MLA format, copy it to clipboard, paste it in your document, and that is the citation needed for the specific article. Okay. If I'm going to go to the access options now, because I want to see the full text, this is just going to be, oh, I spoke too soon. Sometimes, if you scroll down, it's there. Sometimes it isn't. Say it isn't there. We'll go back up and select the PDF version, and it will open a new window. Oh, and it did provide all my options up here. So we can save the item. We can cite it from here. We can add it to a project. We can share it, download it, or print it. You can also listen to it, which I think is neat. So there's the full text of the article. You've already copied your citation, so you can just go ahead and use what you want out of this and then make sure you're citing it properly. To go back to your list of your results, you hit this back key. And now we're back into where I selected the title of the article. So then I'm going to select back one more time. And now I'm in my full list. Okay, I'm going to skip over to my last box I have on the library's main page, which is the eSearch box. Again, I'm just going through my tabs along the top to move around. Here's eSearch, and the reason being is you can locate databases directly from the eSearch. This searches everything. When you first get in, it's set up to do digital resources. So the digital resources will be online resources. They could be ebooks, they could be articles. If you wanted just physical resources, like you pick up a book or a magazine that's at a library, you would select the physical sources and search in there. We're going to just leave it on the digital resources. I'm going to use the same terms I used last time. I'm using video games, and I am not putting it in quotes. I'm not doing anything with it like I did the first time. Like I said, I always do my searches like this, and then I try to pick subject headings that are associated with it. Okay, so right off the bat, it's showing me books, which is fine, and you're welcome to use these. These are going to be ebooks in here, so you have full access to those. I'm showing you how to move around and use this system. So I'm going to select the peer-reviewed journals over here. I didn't look to see how many I had at first, but just selecting the peer review, I am down to 41,000. If you wanted a specific database, and like I said, that got rid of all the ebooks. Here's where you would select a specific database. So here's academic search using the search term video games, peer-reviewed articles. So you can focus and go to a specific database by selecting your databases links over here. Let me see. We had... there's a business journal, psychology, computers and applied science. So there's many ways you could go into the video games and use those. Either the business side, the psychology side, the education side, and pick the database that applies to that if you want. You can just select any of these articles and do it that way. In addition, if you had an assignment that said it had to be out of the United States, so when you did that, you wanted to make sure all the articles where you were able to read, you could select the English version. If there's a limit on your dates, you can select, move your dates around here to whatever you need. Okay, so if you only needed, had to be in 2000, the last 20 years, 26 years, you do it that way. And now we didn't really reduce it that much because of the time frame. All right, so now we're going to switch. I'm at 40,000. I'm going to add the quotes onto this. And I'm going to say education again. We'll just use the same thing. And hit enter. And again, and is in capital. Now, if you go to an advanced search, you will see you have the option to add and, or not. So if you wanted or, you could use or. I really don't use that very often. I use either the and not. So like if I wanted video games and education and not China, just not that I'm picking on China, just that it's just there's a lot of Chinese video games, so then that would eliminate all the Chinese video games. For example, I was saying something about an assignment being outside of the United States, so you could put not, N-O-T, capital United States. All right, so it did not save my filters over here. So I'm going to again select the peer reviewed. I've limited it to video games in quotes and education. And now I have 11,000. There's more terms you could use to focus this. But again, I'm just showing you search tips and how to access things. So we're just going to pick the first one. In here. Okay, and so what I have is, here's my information. Here's share, QR code, export to Excel, EasyBib, print, citation, permalink, and you can email it to yourself. Here, I'm going to say this, I have seen students who got this far, copied this address, put it in a citation generator, and submitted that as a citation. That is not a citation for this. I'm sorry, it's a citation for this page, but not for the article itself. Your best bet to make sure you're getting a citation that applies to the specific article is to click the citation link here. And again, this is set up in the MLA, so that's what you need. You can copy it to your clipboard. If you need it in the APA format, you just select a different format. Okay, now we're going to go to the online access link. Oh, I'm not signed in. I need to sign in to eSearch. Again, that's going to be your Edison email and your Edison password. Since I already have signed in, as you see, I just had to click it and it just took me right there. All right, so this is taking us specifically to the academic search database. I'm just waiting for it to come up. Okay, so here we are in the article. There's the full text to it. Here's your links here. Save, and there's your citation. And here's your, came up in the APA format, so you'll want to switch it to the MLA and copy it to clipboard, paste it in your document, and your citation is done. Just check the accuracy of it, meaning making sure it's the most current format. Okay. So go back to eSearch. These are our results. We can go back to our results list. Oh, I wanted to show you something in that one. I'm going to go back to that. I'm selecting the same article. Sorry about that. I forgot. We have related reading. So if this is exactly what you're looking for, here, these are all associated with exactly what's in this. And here's more suggestions. So you can go through it that way, or you can go back to your list here and go through them this way. Here you had 11,000. There you only had a few. If you even select a different article, it's still going to show you related reading and more suggestions, okay? Online access. Sometimes it'll give you the access, but sometimes you might have to go into this specific database down here. Let me just go to another one. I've tried two. Two of them have taken me to the database specifically. There we go. There's a PDF version. Again, I'm just showing it to you, show you the different links. If you go in here, as you see, you don't have your citation. But if you go back, here you are in the title of that, and here is your citation for it. And it's in the APA format. Make sure you change it to your MLA, and there you go. Okay, so going back to our search page, say we decided this was not what we wanted at all, and we just wanted to do new search. You can select new search here, and it clears all your filters and all your information out, and you can start all over. All right, going back to the library's main page, I have gone over eSearch, I've gone over the databases, excuse me, and I've gone over the research guides. Here is our email and phone number. If you have any questions about any of the things I've gone over, please let me know. I would like to go over the tutoring center real quick as a last part of my presentation. To get to that from anywhere on Edison's webpage, you can go under Services and Support, go over to the Tutoring Center, and here's the Tutoring Center link. Now you're on the Tutoring Center page. Scroll down, same thing, quick overview in this box. Phone number, contact information, hours of operation. But if you scroll down, what we have is a calendar. So today happens to be Tuesday. It's about 4 o'clock. So nobody's in right now, but Jason just got done at 3, and Kyla's going to be in from 5 to 7. She's doing general chemistry and biochemistry. But tonight, if you needed paper reviews, we have reading, writing, math, and paper reviews. And Jeanette's on from 7 to 9. So you just click the connect to Zoom session, and a Zoom window opens, and you just go over what you would like her to review for you. Okay. Thank you for watching Edison Library's video series.